Good morning. It's Monday, May 5th. Here's what we're working on so far. Prime Minister Carney will meet with U.S. President Donald Trump tomorrow in Washington. A $500 million settlement over bread fixed pricing goes before a Toronto court today. And the Winnipeg Jets moved to round 2 after a double overtime win against the Blues. Thank you so much for joining us here on Morning Live. Happy Monday morning. I'm Emily Taylor. Chris Mungavra is joining us. This is a first for all of us here today.
This is really interesting. Welcome you two. Nice to have you here. Hey.
It's going to be a fun couple days. I know. Two of us on the desk. Brian's going to have to show us the ropes, see what's going on. Brian, you're in charge.
Okay, I'm in charge.
I know.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get into this Monday here. Monday the 5th of May already. What a weekend. The weather, you know, I'm embarrassed. This is supposed to be May.
Thank you. I heard April showers bring May seasonal temperatures and a little bit of sunshine, perhaps, would be very nice.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get any of that either today. I mean, it's going to be cool. I mean, yesterday we got to 12 degrees, below seasonal. Today, only 11. We'll continue to have that northeasterly wind to about 50 kilometers an hour. So we're going to struggle again today. Not a lot of sunshine, even though it's, you know, we're just about 5 minutes from the sun coming up. So we'll see a high of 11, lots of clouds, chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorms. We could get 5 to 10 millimeters today and tonight as well, with more of the same thing for tomorrow. And we'll talk about that coming up. We'll try to make it look brighter anyhow. All right, looking at traffic this morning, starting to fill in a little bit here at the 403 and Waterdown Road. Nothing going on with collisions. We'll show you some MTO traffic cameras. Centennial Parkway looks good. So on this camera, Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us. Now away from us here at the QEW Skyway. And same here at Bronte Road. As you can see, it's pretty light so far today. We will look at weather and traffic in detail as usual coming up. Right now, the news.
Thanks, Brian. Prime Minister Carney is set to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump tomorrow. When asked about the meeting last week, Carney said he's prepared for difficult but constructive conversations with the U.S. leader as he looks to renegotiate trade agreements between Canada and the States and ease tariff pressures. Carney has been clear throughout the campaign that the previous relationship between our two nations is gone, and he'll now look to chart a new path forward. In an interview with NBC News' Meet the Press that aired yesterday, Trump called Carney a very nice man, but repeated his claim that Canada should be the 51st state. He was asked whether he would consider using military force to make it happen.
Would you rule out military force to take Canada?
Well, I think we're not going to ever get to that point. It could happen. Something could happen with Greenland. I'll be honest. We need that for national and international security.
But not
I
with
think
Canada?
It's highly unlikely. I don't see it with Canada. I just don't see it. I have to be honest with you.
Okay, but you don't rule out...
Carney is traveling to Washington to meet with the president and other senior officials tomorrow. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says her government will announce a bold new step to create a strong and free Alberta later today, following her first meeting with Prime Minister Carney. In a post on X this weekend, Smith says she'll make the announcement at 3 p.m. on the province's path forward with the federal government. Smith and Carney met for the first time since the election on Friday. Smith calling it a positive first meeting on X and saying that she's looking for timely action on federal energy policies. The conversation comes after Smith called on Carney to reset Ottawa's relationship with Alberta and after the Alberta government tabled legislation last week that lowers the bar for citizens to initiate referendums, including a possible vote on Alberta separating from Canada. People who bought a packaged bread in Canada between 2001 and 2021 may be a step closer to receiving compensation for being overcharged as the largest price-fixing settlement in Canadian history makes its way to court today. Sean Cowan is live at the No Frills in Waterdown with all of these details. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Emily. Well, this $500 million settlement involves Loblaw, which includes No Frills, and its parent company, George Weston, and it is set to go in front of a Toronto court today. Now, this deal is set to resolve 2 class action lawsuits tied to an alleged bread price-fixing scheme. As per the settlement, Between Loblaws and George Weston Limited, they have agreed to pay $500 million to members of the class action. In exchange, class action members will give a full release on claims against the companies. Lawyers say the agreement would also give plaintiffs access to documents to help continue their case against other retailers, including Canada Bread, Sobeys, Metro, Walmart Canada, and Giant Tiger. And a lawyer who represents the plaintiffs say this is the largest price-fixing settlement in Canadian history. That lawyer also says this is the only price-fixing settlement that does not involve the Canadian government. Simone, I will send it back inside to you.
Thanks, Sean. Hamilton police say they're investigating two separate shootings that happened over the weekend. The first occurred shortly after 2 a.m. Saturday in the area of Inchbury and Tecumseh Streets. Officers searched the area but did not find any suspects or victims. Police were able to confirm that multiple shots had been fired and are asking residents to check any security cameras between 1 and 3 a.m. for any suspicious activity. The second shooting happened just hours later in the city's East End. Officials say officers were called to Rymel Road East and White Deer Road around 4:40 a.m. There, police again found evidence that shot had been fired. No one was injured there either. Investigators say this was a targeted incident and again are asking for witnesses to come forward. Hamilton police have arrested a 40-year-old man following a stabbing at the mosque in the city's downtown that left 3 people injured. Police were called to the downtown mosque on York Boulevard around 2 p.m. on Friday for reports of a stabbing following an altercation at the mosque. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and another was treated at the scene. A third victim later showed up at hospital, also with non-life-threatening injuries. 40-year-old Abdullah Al-Khalif from Hamilton was arrested on the Hamilton Mountain and has been charged with aggravated assault and 2 counts of assault causing bodily harm. Police believe the suspect and victims are known to each other, and they are not looking for any additional suspects. A spike in school bus crashes has OPP in the West region concerned after investigating 9 crashes within the last 30 days.
For the drivers in our communities, please slow down, be patient. Stop when the bus stop arm is extended. That pause could save a life. Regardless if you're a bus driver, a member of the motoring public, bicyclist, or pedestrian, traffic safety is everyone's responsibility. So please make sure you always pay attention to your surroundings.
OPP Sergeant Ed Sanchuk says that there have been no reported injuries to any students or bus drivers in these crashes. Police say that drivers need to focus on prevention, not just reaction. Students are reminded to always cross the street in front of the bus, never behind it, and listen to the bus driver when you're headed to and from school. The Royal Canadian Navy honored the sacrifices of those who fought in the Battle of the Atlantic.
CHCH Weyburn, 22nd February, 1943.
HMCS Star held a solemn ceremony marking the 80th anniversary of the battle. During the ceremony, Navy members rang a bell and dropped flowers to commemorate the 34 Canadian ships lost in the battle and the 4,600 Canadian men and women who died. The war began in September 1939 and ended in 1945, and this battle was crucial in keeping supplies flowing to Britain so that it could keep up the fight to defeat the Nazis.
They escorted all the supplies that Great Britain and Europe needed from North America.
Because they were to a heck of a lot of agony and misery.
This weekend is all about remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice to ensure 185 million tons of life-sustaining cargo made its way from North America to Europe. Without that cargo, Germans would have surely been victorious.
The commander of HMCS Star also highlighted Hamilton's critical role in the battle, saying that the city was a major hub for steel manufacturing, supplying the ships and equipment needed for the Second World War. All right, let's take a look at sports now. Game 7 of the Jets-Blues series in Winnipeg needed double overtime to advance to the second round of the NHL playoffs.
Here's Fleury. Hard pass down low. Potter back up the boards for Pionk. Pionk shoots. Score! The Jets win it on the deflection. The Winnipeg Jets will move on.
Adam Adam Lowry scored late in the second overtime period to give the Jets a come-from-behind 4-3 win over St. Louis. Cole Perfetti scored twice, including the tying goal with 1.6 seconds left in regulation as the Jets sent the game to OT with 2 tallies in the final 2 minutes. Connor Hellebuck finished with 26 saves for Winnipeg, while the Blues goalie Jordan Binnington stopped 43 saves. The Jets will face the Dallas Stars in round 2 starting Wednesday night.
It's always a challenge playing against great players like that. And they got to do a good job checking. And as a group, though, as a team, we do. And you got to fight for your space out there. It's not going to be any easy ice, and we know that.
Despite finishing first in the Atlantic Division this year and having home ice advantage in the series, many consider the Leafs to be the underdogs. Toronto beat the Panthers in just one of their 4 meetings this season and were eliminated by Florida in 5 games in the 2023 playoffs. The NHL will hold its draft lottery tonight at 7 p.m. to determine the top 16 picks in this June's draft. The San Jose Sharks hold the best chance of getting the top pick for the second straight year, followed by Chicago, Nashville, Philadelphia, and Boston. Teams can only move up 10 spots in the order, meaning only the worst 11 teams this season have a chance at the first overall pick. Meanwhile, puck drops on round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight in Toronto, where the Maple Leafs hosting the defending champion Florida Panthers. Captain Canada is putting his cape back on. Sidney Crosby has been added to Canada's roster for the upcoming World Hockey Championship. It'll be his first appearance at the event in a decade, and it comes 3 months after Crosby helped Canada win the Four Nations face-off. The tournament begins this Friday in Sweden and Denmark. Canada's first game is against Slovakia on Saturday.
Coming up on 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is Monday, the 5th of May. The sun is up. Are we seeing any sun? Hello? No, I don't see any sunshine there. It's pretty cloudy, and we do have some light rain, so the roads are going to start getting fairly wet. Looking at the 403 and Waterdown Road, nothing to see there. It's moving pretty well. Into St. Catharines, some MTO traffic cameras. Here's the Garden City Skyway. Looks good. Nothing at Centennial still. Here's the 403 junction. Toronto-bound lanes coming out of Hamilton towards us. Again, the Ford plant looks fine. Same with the Etobicoke Creek. Not a lot happening right now. Let's get to our temperature that we have, and the way we're starting our morning here, it is cloudy. We have some light rain shower activity. The wind's still from the northeast. We can't seem to get rid of that. And a temperature of 9 degrees. At least that's a little bit above seasonal to start our morning here. But we're only going to climb to 11 degrees today. So for school, be prepared for showers, possible thunderstorms. We could get 5 to 10 millimeters today, and that northeast wind is going to continue as one of the reasons why Hamilton has that subdued temperature. Air quality, no problems today in the low risk category, both morning and afternoon. Low pressure just to the south of us. It's going to, well, another one is going to double up on us, and that's going to keep us into the showers, thunderstorms today, tonight, tomorrow. Even some showers are going to linger on Wednesday. But finally, after that, it gets better. So today, 5 to 10 millimeters. Temperature 16 for Niagara, north shore of Lake Erie, but really struggling for Hamilton, Burlington because of that wind. Otherwise, just fairly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms today. And that will continue tonight. Fog will develop. Temperatures anywhere from 9 in Hamilton to 10, 11, and 12 degrees, so unsettled again. And then tomorrow, well, maybe a hint of some sun, but temperatures will be better tomorrow. We'll lose that northeasterly wind. It'll come at us from the south tomorrow, so that's what's going to help our temperatures, but still unsettled with showers and thunderstorms. So out the door, 5th morning of May. It is cloudy. We have some light rain. Temperature right now sitting at 9. Long-range forecast coming up. Simone, Emily.
All right, I'm not loving that so far, so Brian, I hope you can do better for us next time around. He's working on it. He's working on it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And in business news, the stock market has recovered losses after U.S. President Donald Trump imposed a global trade war. We'll have this story and more in 2. 6:16 on your Monday morning. Let's say hello to Emily Vukovic. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I want to sing like the Super Bowl theme for you. Da-na-na, 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 da-na-na.
Because you know what day it is?
It's Met Gala Day.
It's Met Gala Monday.
It's Met Gala Monday. Totally not my jam, but I know it is yours, so we will discuss in detail during Chit Chat.
Very excited.
And we now know why Jeremy Renner has turned down Hawkeye Season 2.
All right.
Interesting.
I know what? I know just as much about the Super Bowl as I do about Marvel, so I'm right here for the Met Gala. We're going to learn some things. We are.
That's amazing.
We'll share.
Later on this morning, we are going to be taking a look at the trailer for Wick is Pain, which is a documentary about the John Wick franchise. Maybe that's a little bit more your vibe?
Okay, yeah, action movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to go back to the Met Gala, but
all right.
We'll spend more time there.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily. All right, let's take a look at some of our business numbers this morning. The Canadian dollar is up 5 basis points to 72.37 cents U.S. Gold is up $43.30 an ounce. And oil prices have fallen more than $1 a barrel this morning after oil-producing giant OPEC said it plans to increase output. Crude is trading just above $57 a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are closed in London, but are up in Frankfurt and down in Paris. It was a quiet day for Asian markets as they were closed for holidays. And here in North American markets, the TSX gained 235 points on Friday. The Dow added 564 and the Nasdaq closed 266 points higher. U.S. stock futures ticked lower in pre-market trading this morning. It felt like much longer, but the U.S. stock markets need just a few weeks to roar all the way back to where it was when U.S. President Donald Trump declared Liberation Day. That's when he shocked Wall Street by announcing much steeper tariffs than expected on nearly all U.S. trading partners. Within just 4 days, the S&P 500 fell around 12%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 4,600 points, or around 11%. This past Friday, though, the S&P 500 rallied for the 9th straight gain and pulled back to where it was on April 2nd. Trump's 90-day pause on many tariffs and a resilient economy helped the market bounce back. Warren Buffett says he's ready to retire. Buffett spoke at Berkshire's annual shareholders meeting over the weekend. The 94-year-old billionaire says he'll recommend Greg Abel as the next CEO, pending board approval. Abel, who already oversees Berkshire's non-insurance operations, will also take on the insurance side and investment decisions. Buffett, who's led the company since 1965, says he won't sell a single share. He also warned about tariffs, calling them a big mistake, and said trade disputes, quote, could be an act of war. Berkshire's earnings fell 14% last quarter, and the company is sitting on $347 billion U.S. in cash. Health Canada has issued a nationwide recall for a pain medication. One lot of pregabalin 50 milligram capsules may contain 150 milligram capsules. The higher dose increases the risk of overdose, which could lead to serious or even fatal side effects. If you use this medication, check your bottles. 50 milligram capsules are white and marked with PG and 50. Customers are asked to return the medication to the pharmacy and speak with their healthcare provider. The Canada Revenue Agency is letting contracts for more than 1,000 term workers across the country expire later this month. The Union of Taxation Employees says the agency will not be renewing the contracts, and employees have been informed of this move. Union National President Mark Briere says the move is insensitive and builds on cuts announced by the CRA under the previous government. He says having fewer staff in contact centers means longer wait times, slower service, and frustration for taxpayers. It is the end of an era. Skype will ring for the last time today as Microsoft shuts it down. The 2-decade-old internet calling service redefined how people connected across the world. It has since struggled against competitors like Zoom and Slack. The move is part of Microsoft's strategy to focus on its Teams platform, which now has 320 million active users monthly. Microsoft plans to ease the transition for Skype users, offering free access to Teams. Microsoft bought Skype 14 years ago for $8.5 billion U.S. Wow, that really is quite nostalgic. I can hear the ring, the like ding, 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 boom, boom, boom. Yeah. End of an era.
Bye, Skype.
Bye, Skype. All right, we are also going to say goodbye just for a couple of minutes, and Brian will be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
6:24 already on this Monday morning. Fairly cloudy skies for the 5th of May here, and some light rain in the area. Garden City Skyway has no problems at all, but the other skyway, the Burlington Skyway, already starting to slow down across the top as you head toward North Shore Boulevard down in Burlington. Nothing at Bronte, still looks good. Sheraton going through Mississauga, all doing fine. That's frozen. Oh, there it goes. Okay, 403 at Huron, Ontario looks pretty good right now. Let's get to our temperatures that we have right now. We're sitting at 9 degrees for Hamilton, a little cooler for Grimsby at 8, but 15 Mississauga, 12 into Toronto. Seasonal temperatures for this time of year, 6 for the overnight low, so we're above that, and 17 for the daytime high. We struggled on the weekend getting anywhere near that. Those are our sun times and records for today. And yes, we are looking for a fairly cloudy day. It should be 9 degrees where we are right now for the first bell with chance of showers. And then after school, showers and thunderstorms are quite possible, and a high of 11 degrees. So I'm going to stand here and I'm going to say, okay, do you want some good news? I'm going to get... I got to cover that up. Do you want some good news after what's to come for the next 3 days? Look at that. I've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got some sunshine finally, but we just have to get there. That's the problem. Today, 11 degrees, 5 to 10 millimeters, 5 to 10 millimeters again tonight, 9. Tomorrow, 17 again. Cloudy, chance of showers and thunderstorms, but a little bit of sun. And then Wednesday, showers 21. Then we get into the sunshine. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Mother's Day on Sunday, a little bit of clouds, but look at those temperatures come up, 17, 20, and 18.
Finally.
Fine.
You can breathe a sigh of relief.
That's your forecast. Simone, Emily.
Thank you, Brian. All right, Panera Bread has some new menu items which have inspired an accessory. It's called the Croissant Clutch. It's a limited edition per shape like a croissant. It's inspired by Panera's new croissant toast sandwiches. Now, the dark brown clutch features detachable gold chain straps and a custom gold P emblem. So this goes for nearly 60 Canadian dollars, and it's already sold out online, but you can request to be notified by email once it's back in stock. That shipping is going to be starting back in August. But Emily, would you rock this?
You know what? I would actually. It looks less like a croissant than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
It's an avant-garde croissant.
Yes, very much so.
Wear it to the Met Gala tonight.
Oh, yeah, just like hold it onto the side. Oh, I love that look. Very stunning.
Very stunning. All right, we have lots more coming up after the break. Stay with us.